Hello and welcome. As parents, our minds are always racing, right? We're thinking about our children's future, their schooling, their health, their happiness. But what if we could give them a head start on something that feels, well, a lifetime away? I'm talking about their financial security in retirement. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into a new government scheme that wants to help us do exactly that.
I know what you're thinking when you see this. Plan your child's retirement when they're born? It sounds absolutely crazy, doesn't it? I mean, we're busy with diapers and sleepless nights, not thinking about pension plans. But just hang on a second. What if this seemingly wild idea is actually one of the smartest, most powerful financial gifts we could ever give them?
Well, this isn't just some financial fantasy anymore. The government has actually launched a scheme that turns this very idea into a real, concrete option for parents just like us, all across the country.
All right, so let's get right into it. The scheme is called NPS Vatsalya. And that name, Vatsalya, is so perfect. It's a beautiful word for that special, tender love a parent has for their child. And that's really the whole spirit of this plan. It's all about that long-term care and affection.
So, what is it exactly? To put it simply, NPS Vatsalya is a pension scheme backed by the government. As a parent or a legal guardian, you can open an account for your child anytime before they hit 18. You invest on their behalf, and that money is designed to grow for decades, creating a really substantial nest egg for them by the time they're ready to retire.
Now, this isn't some brand new, untested idea that just appeared yesterday. The scheme was actually launched back in 2024. Over the last couple of years, the PFRDA, that's the main body that regulates all pension funds, they've been busy releasing all the detailed guidelines. So now, today, the big push is all about teaching financial literacy early and giving us more flexible options. Okay, so let's get into the good stuff. Think about it like this. You're planting a tiny little sapling for your child. It starts small, but you give it time, you give it care, and eventually it grows into this huge, strong tree that can provide for them long into the future. So let's unpack the key features that make this whole thing work. So what makes this so special? First, and this is huge, the returns are market linked. That just means your money isn't just sitting there, it's invested in things like stocks and bonds, giving it a real shot at much higher growth over the years. Second, it's so easy to get into. You only need to put in a minimum of 1,000 rupees a year. It's also super flexible. You can make partial withdrawals for really important things like higher education, and it just automatically becomes a regular NPS account when your kid turns 18. But out of all those great features, there's one that stands head and shoulders above the rest. It's the one thing that can turn small amounts into huge wealth. I'm talking about the pure, simple magic of compounding.
And here it is. This is what that magic can look like. By starting right from birth and just investing a few thousand rupees every month, the power of compounding could potentially grow your child's fund to over 1 crore rupees by the time they retire. Now, of course, this isn't a guarantee. It all depends on how the market performs. But it just goes to show you the incredible power of time. A small, consistent effort today can become a life-changing amount tomorrow.
All right, I think the potential here is pretty clear. So you're probably asking, okay, this sounds interesting, but how do I actually do it? Perfect. Let's shift gears from the why to the how and walk through the actual steps to get an account started for your child. So who can invest? Well, the account can be opened for any Indian citizen who's under 18. And good news, it's also available for NRIs and OCIs. The main thing to remember is that you, the parent or guardian, will be the one managing the account until your child is 18. After that, the control shifts over to them. You've basically got 2 ways to go about this. You can do it the old school, offline way by visiting a bank or a post office, or you can do it online through the EPFOMS portal, which honestly is much faster and way more convenient. If you go online, you'll just need your Aadhaar and PAN handy for the quick KYC verification. Let's just quickly walk through the online process, since it's the simplest. First, you go to the official ENPS website. You find and select the Vatsalya scheme and just fill in the details for you and your child. Then you'll do a quick online identity check. After that, you make your first investment, which can be as low as 1,000 rupees. And that's literally it. Your child gets their own unique PRAN, a permanent retirement account number, and you're all set. Okay. Now, as exciting as all this is, it's really important that we take a step back and be practical. Every single financial product has its pros and cons, and we need to understand the fine print. So let's just take a moment for a quick reality check. It is absolutely crucial to understand what this scheme is and what it isn't. It is a market-linked investment. That means your returns are not guaranteed like an FD. The value is going to go up and down.
It is a very long-term commitment for retirement. It is not a savings plan for next year's school fees. Getting this distinction right is the key to using this tool properly.
So we've talked about the what, the why, and the how. And that brings us to the most important question of all. Is this scheme actually the right fit for you and for your family's financial goals?
Let me try and make this really simple. You should definitely think about this if you're someone who believes in starting early and you want to build a serious retirement fund for your child. On the other hand, you should probably reconsider if you think you'll need this money anytime soon, or if you're just not comfortable with market-linked investments and you'd rather have the safety of guaranteed returns.
At the end of the day, NPS Vatsalya is just a really powerful idea. It proves that even the smallest investments, if you plant them early and just let them grow over time, can turn into something truly massive, providing real security for the future.
And so, the final question is for you to think about. Now that you've seen how it works, what it can do, and what its limits are, would you actually consider planning for your child's retirement, starting today with NPS Vatsalya? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.